Hey there, YouTube. This is Tracy Morgan. And I'm not saying anything funny or anything crazy, so don't be trying to tell you I'm this and say I'm that, because I am the man who can do what I do and do it the only way I can do it, because I do what I do. Whatever the fuck I just said. So anyway, this is a video about Tracy Morgan. About the controversy. The controversy of telling jokes. One man's humor could be another man's anger. Apparently, Tracy Morgan said a bunch of homophobic jokes at a stand-up show, and many people were offended by it. What is comedy? What is the definition of comedy? I don't know. You tell me. What's funny for one person could not be funny to another person. But that's the risk of being a comedian, taking chances. Tracy Morgan, I've seen a lot of his work. I remember when he was Hustle Man on Martin, and he was funny as hell. He went on to be on SNL, Saturday Night Live, 8 seasons from 1996 to 2003. He even ended up hosting Saturday Night Live in 2009. But you have some comedians who are bashing Mr. Tracy Morgan for what he did because they feel it was wrong and inappropriate. Kind of lets you think about the situation that happened with Michael Richards a couple of years ago. And that situation cannot be compared to this situation, in my opinion. Because first of all, he was telling jokes. He wasn't directing it toward an individual in the crowd. In the situation with Michael Richards, it was surreal because he was directing it toward a person, and he was pretty much snapping at that person. This was pretty much just him doing his comedy, his stick, his routine. I saw HBO's HBO special Tracy Morgan recently did, and I thought it was pretty funny, and it kind of lets you know, or beg to differ, what can be considered politically correct in this society as it relates to telling jokes. And some people will sit there and say, well, he was talking about an entire community of people that are homosexual, and it's disrespectful. I don't know. I can't vouch on that, because I feel like this: if it's funny, it's funny. And that's just like if you would have had Ellen or or Rosie O'Donnell or anybody like that doing a joke, and maybe doing the same joke, or probably in somewhat different dialect of the joke, and it would be funny or it would be different. I don't know. Anyway, one of the jokes he said was, if my son is gay or has any gay tendency, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to stab him. Okay. For some people that might not be funny, but for others it might be. Tracy Morgan has apologized for his actions, and it begs to differ. If you're a comedian, if you're an edgy comedian, which Tracy Morgan is, what can you not say, or what can you say in this society? Because if you look back at comedians in the past, they would say whatever the fuck they wanted to say. You're not gonna cover Richard Pryor's mouth of what he wanted to say. You're not going to cover Red Fox's mouth. You're not going to cover George Carlin's mouth of what he wanted to say. If he wanted to say that, he would say it, and he would let you know. That's what it is. It just seems, what is comedy? What is comedy for one person to another person? Because if he's telling jokes, that's one thing. If he's bashing a person in the crowd, that's another thing. If that person in the crowd feels it's disrespectful, then they have all the right to get their ass up and walk out of the club or wherever they're at. They don't have to sit there and listen to it. If they feel it's disrespectful to them or their kind, their race, their sexuality, or anything like that, you don't have to stay and listen to it. And NBC president and blah 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 said their state that what Tracy Morgan did was very inappropriate and blah blah blah. Man, you hired the guy to be on one of your shows because you saw something in him that made you want to hire him. So what does this mean for Mr. Tracy Morgan? Is he going to be kicked off Scare Tactics? And they're going to replace him, and they're going to bring back Shannon Doherty? Or is he going to have to really be a real life hustle man and try to get ends meet? I don't know. But the thing is, people will contrive or construe or put things in their own mindset about what he did at this particular comedy act there where he performed. But like I said, you got to look at the people who paved the way in comedy in general, and you can see that it was more edgier stuff way back in the day than it is now, because it seems like everything you say, everything that comes out your mouth is politically incorrect. And that's for anybody, can sit there and say, man, that shit you just said was gay. Wanda Sykes does a PSA now on TV where that's not right. But look at some of Wanda Sykes' other comedy that she did back in the day before she came out. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. Tracy Morgan is just another comedian who did a comedy act, did a stand-up act, and it was just maybe that one or two or three people that were in that place that probably felt that it was very inappropriate and started tweeting like a motherfucker just to say, this is not right, this is very inappropriate. And it's just really sad that that's what this society has become, that you can't say a joke and have it not being took literally. Being well, it's just, I guess it's the whole build up of the way times have changed. But if you're going to say something that's funny or do something that's funny, then do it. But if you don't, then you don't. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if I did something that was funny and in my opinion it was funny and others felt it was in bad taste, then like my channel says, change the channel, bitch. Change it. You don't have to watch anything I put on my channel as it relates to what I feel is funny. And I guess that's how it is. But in this situation, I guess cooler heads prevailed. Tracy apologized for what he did. But was it apology that he had to do? Nah, because I mean he did comedy edgy like this before he even was on 30 Rock. You know what I'm saying? He did comedy like this prior to him having more success than he's had now. I mean, I think he was funny as hell in Cop Out with him and Bruce Willis. Great movie. But I don't know. You guys voice your opinions in the comments about what you feel about as it relates to comedy. Can you do comedy and do it politically correct and still have it be funny? Or do you feel that, I may have to go throw the balls to the wall? That was a messed up way to say it, but just go crazy and just do whatever you want to do, and you do it the best you can, and hopefully people have an enjoyment out of it. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to throw my 2 cents in there about the Tracy Morgan situation, even though it's been wow. But yeah, this is Jughead A2 signing off.